So, being queer has no bearing on race, my white publicist said. True love is unaffected by color. I curb the flashes of me crashing across the table, knock his blonde skin from Manhattan to Montego Bay to bear witness to the bloody beatings of brown boys accused of the homosexual crime of buggery. Amidst the newfangled fads and fallacies, the new age claims that racial and sexual freedom has finally come for all. These under-informed, self-congratulating, pseudo-intellectual utterances reflect how apolitical the left has become. It is now commonplace to hear young activists of all races say, I can't explain why, but the term lesbian just comes across as confrontational to me. Why can't you people just say you date people? Tongue and courage tied with fear, I am at once livid, ashamed, and paralyzed by the neoconservatism breathing malicious amongst us. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, ally, feminist, artist, two-spirit, non-gender conforming. Every year someone comes up with a new term for us. Yet every day I become more and more afraid to say black or lesbian or immigrant. Every day, under the pretense of unity, I swallow something I should have said about the epidemic of AIDS in Africa, or the violence against teenage girls in East New York, or the mortality rate of young boys on the south side of Chicago. Even in friendly conversation, I have to rein in the bell hooksian urge to kill motherfuckers who say stupid shit to me. All day, bitter branches of things I cannot say out loud sprout deviant from my neck. Fuck you, you fucking racist, sexist turd. Fuck you for crying about homophobia while you exploit the desperation of undocumented immigrants to clean your hallways, bathe your children, cook your dinner for less than you and I spend on our tax-deductible lunches. I want to scream out loud, all oppression is connected, you dick. At the heart of every radical action in history stood the dykes who were feminists, the anti-racists who were gay rights activists, the men who believed giving women the vote could only make our communities stronger. As the violence against the poor increases, where are the human rights campaigns in those neighborhoods where the atrocities occur most frequently? As the tide of the Supreme Court changes, where are the marches to support a woman's right to an abortion? And what are we doing about health insurance for those of us who cannot afford it? HIV/AIDS was once a reason for gay white men to act up. Now your indifference spells the death of Latino women and imprisoned black boys. Apparently, if the tragedy does not immediately impact you, you don't give a fuck. A revolution once pregnant with expectation flounders, apathetic and individualistic. No one knows what to call leading anymore. The faces that now represent us have begun to look like the ones who used to burn crosses and beat bulldaggers with loaded guns. The very progressive politicians still dance around the issue of gay parenting, and the term marriage is still reserved for those unions sanctioned by a church-controlled state. For all the landmarks we celebrate, we are still hyphenated Americans and niggers and bitches and aliens and minstrel references for jokes created on the funny pages of a white heterosexual world. The current leftist manifesto is a corporate agenda, and outside of that agenda, a young boy dressed in drag is sucking someone else's dick to pay for his dinner. A woman is beaten every 12 seconds. Every 2 minutes, a girl is raped somewhere in America. And while we stand here well-dressed and rejoicing, in India, in China, in South America, a small child cuts the cloth to construct you a new shoe, a slave trade of shoes and shirts for impoverished lives. It's time we put our bodies where our mouths have always been. As feminists and free-thinking people, come one, come all those committed to radical social change. We are not simply at a political crossroads. We are buried knee-deep in a quagmire, in a battle for humanity. The powers that have always been have already come for the Jew, the communist, the trade unionists, the terrorists. The time to act is now. Now, while there are still ways that we can fight. Now, because the rights we have left are still so very few. Now, because it is the right thing to do. Now, before you open the door to find they have finally come for you.